Hey guys, my name's Quinn. Welcome to my channel. You're going to be following me on my journey of the creation of Pulse Hockey from the ground up. I really wanted to document this journey. I want to shout out Noah Walter's YouTube channel as he kind of gave me the extra inspiration to do this. Really resonated after we exchanged some DMs about how he said he just was making content for what he would like to watch. And I really just want to do that as, a low barrier thing for me to document. I don't want this to be something that requires extra motivation for me to do this project. Whether I upload these or not, or stop doing them or not, I just want to try and push myself a little bit out of the comfort zone and document, this process, because I would love to follow a video series like this, especially like in the hockey niche. So without any further ado, I'll get into a little bit of my background and how we came to where we are today, starting this journey. So to begin, started playing hockey while I was pretty young, like before the 2010s when the Chicago Blackhawks dynasty began, and I really got into it. Hockey taught me a lot. I fell in love with the game. It taught me good, bad, ugly things about life. And it was a really great just experience overall. I have memories that I'm going to keep forever, friends and relationships that I've made. And it's just, it is like its own world. I can go almost anywhere and somehow know someone some way through the hockey world. So hockey has been amazing. And through my journey, I was able to accomplish a lot of goals. One of them trying to be rostered on a collegiate level team. I ended up being able to make an ACHA level team, which was, my goal. I wanted to just be able to keep playing. I knew at that point I wasn't going to keep playing after that. There wasn't really a viable route for that. So when restrictions started coming up and we couldn't play for that one season, I decided to end up hanging up the skates and stepping away from hockey with the intention of focusing more on like my professional career, as I felt like that was my next step. When I did that, I had a really big like identity like problem. I felt as if I couldn't call myself a hockey player anymore. Yeah, I could go play, men's league and still play it as a hobby. It just was very new for me, to where when I'm introducing myself or talking about myself, where it felt as if hockey couldn't be my highlight because I wasn't still playing like competitively. And that was really, hard because I had to try and like identify with something else. In that meantime, I really dove into like, like business technology, and that, which was my major, was really what was my now new identity. Over time, I like really started to miss hockey. Actually, like a year and a half ago, I was itching to then play again now. I think it was the break I needed from hockey. It was starting to get like not toxic, so to speak, but the fun for the game was winding out when it did. As I mentioned, I knew I wasn't going to play a next level of competitiveness. And I think that was hard for me to like keep going when I knew the end was so near, and it really like things weren't maybe working out as I like to a T as I wanted them to, which is okay. But that was hard when I transitioned to not being a hockey player anymore. I felt as if I wasn't allowed to be. And so when I did get back into it a year and a half ago, as I mentioned, really, itching to play for the game again, I went to look at buying a whole new set of gear since I sold my stuff when I hung up my skates. And I was just reminded with like how expensive our sport is. Like, oh my gosh. It reminded me of being a kid and like wanting stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's expensive. How do we make it work? Not to say my family was not struggling or anything, but hockey is not cheap, especially when the gear is marked up a lot. There's new gear coming out every year. Kind of have that like FOMO that you need the newest and latest stuff, especially as you're younger. It reminded me of just even all the way up to my college level where I was still paying for my gear, and other people having like new stuff. Like I couldn't get that. I felt, I don't know, like I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, but it just felt as if we weren't like, did it make sense? Like, we're not pro. Like, why am I going to put all this money into this gear? And I just wish hockey was like more affordable. Grew up in like Chicagoland area, and I was one of few people from my high school that played hockey. It's not like I played basketball countless times with my friends, but very few times we all played hockey. I do just think that's really like a problem with the gear. If no one has it, no one can play it. That's why football is the number one sport. I'm still calling it soccer. Soccer's the number one sport. It's all you need is a ball. And I think hockey's way cooler, but takes a way bigger barrier to entry. And I was really reminded of that trying to get back into the sport I loved. Like I was like met with that barrier again. And I just think it's very unfortunate that as I'm going through and purchasing gear, I have to weigh durability and with the performance of the gear, but also like the safety aspect as well. So I just think the hockey market does need to be a little bit better about what we're charging for this gear, and how the mid-tier really isn't that much farther from what the high tier is, and really just a markup for maybe a 10% better product. So that's really where I was at with just starting Pulse. I felt like there are brands out there that do, provide affordable equipment, but I just like that's their brand, is just being affordable, which is fine, but I wanted something that like is bigger than that. That's not just like, this is the cheap brand, they're like, that is not what I want to build. I want to build a brand that is like for the players, for the game. And that's why I really liked the name Pulse. I found the domain March 28th, 2024 and bought it, pulsehockey.com. Because Pulse, like, just, it felt like we were just adding that pulse to the game. Like, that's what I want. And that's really what our mission is here at Pulse. I really want to just expand the game of hockey. Like, and the way we can start by doing that is by offering equipment that perfectly balances the performance and durability for elite level play without breaking the bank for the consumer. And that's where I want our company to also allocate 10% of our gross income towards like accomplishing this mission, whether that be donating equipment, making events for people to try hockey, building roller rinks. I want hockey to be out there more. And if these brands are going to be charging how much they are for their product and not give any money back to the game, I just think it's honestly disrespectful. They're just taking so much, in my opinion, giving very little. And that's why my vision for Pulse is to more like even line that. I want to like offer a lot. And if you decide that we are of value and you give us your money and are happy with the product you get, we're also going to focus on using that profit at, bettering the game we want. I look at it as like, it's almost like an investment. Like, you're not just buying a stick from us, you're buying a stick from us and the ability to like help expand hockey. Like you're like now a part of that mission. I don't want our brand to be so much like, we just want like everyone to try it. Like, as much as I do want that, I really just want to be focused on like where I was like just a year and a half ago, or where maybe a lot of beer leaguers are, or where I was in college, or where I was when I was a kid. Like I wanted like cool gear, and just because it's necessarily marked up really high didn't mean it like it's the best. And so that's why I really want to offer that same quality of equipment transparently to the consumer, and they can decide if our markup is worth it. I don't plan to mark up the gear crazy. I think what we're marking our gear up for the designs we're making, for the logistical supply chain we're creating to get this out to the market, to the website we're building, to the marketing we're doing, and then to the mission that we're going to take those funds and then do to spread hockey, I think it's a value trade. Now, if someone doesn't, that's okay. They can buy from someone else. But I think it's a unique opportunity to offer more than just an overpriced equipment. Even if it was still overpriced, we have something I feel like we can be giving back. But I do want to offer that at an affordable rate to the consumer. So I hope my long-winded thought analysis on how we got here was, worth listening to my TED Talk. But I think it's just important that I share that. I probably said like a million times too. This is my second time filming. I'll try and get better on that as I do these. But that's just me talking from like off my dome, where I really want this brand to focus on. And I hope that resonates with some people, that what we're doing isn't just like another brand out there that's like affordable, or not just another brand out there at the same time that's like, oh, they're donate, like, that's not like necessarily our selling point. I think if you can see like what the selling point is, then I like don't need to describe it anymore. And if you don't, then that's okay. This isn't for you. But I can't wait to show you guys more. Next video I'm going to do is like how the ideology of our logo, how we got there, how it kind of got made. And let me know what you guys think. Sorry there was not much content in this one. Again, really just wanted to kind of put words to video on the whole background and why of where this came to be. If you guys really did stick to the end, I appreciate it. You're actually a real one. And find a way to message me, and shout out to you. I'm just going to say thanks. There's nothing to it.